Hey everyone, welcome back to the Infatuasian podcast. We are in person again. We're in, what are we, room 413? We're in room 413, Miss Peters' rooms for all you Galileo alums out there.
How auspicious.
We are in 413. Ooh, that's a good number, yeah. And today we are recording spooky stories.
Well, we're gonna try.
We're gonna try. We don't know how spooky they will be, but this is our Halloween episode, so happy Halloween, everyone out there.
Happy weenies.
Happy
Halloween.
All you weenies out there. And so I brought some friends. They are coworkers. We are technically on the clock.
No one needs to know that.
Don't say that.
We are collaborating. No,
Edit that out.
We're off the clock.
This is collaboration time, so we are collaborating
Yes.
on spoken word.
That's right. On narratives.
Storytelling, yeah.
And I'm in my narrative unit right
Yes.
now
Yeah,
for my curriculum. So there you go.
We are joined by two people. One voice you might recognize if you're a longtime listener and you go all the way back to episode 3. Jackie, this is episode 101 now.
That's
so
crazy.
What is that? 98 episodes ago. We did one on crying in H-Mart. If you want to hear our episode on crying in H-Mart, it's Jackie. Jackie is an English teacher. We're in the English classroom right now. Hey,
Yep.
Jackie, how's it going?
Hello.
Welcome back to the
Thank
pod.
you.
The fans were asking about you. Fans were saying, where's that one woman who was in that show?
They were not.
Well, maybe. They're thinking it, though. I know they didn't actually say it. But
They're thinking it silently.
internally wishing for you to come back on the pod. Well, she's back, everyone.
I'm
She's
back.
And we have a newcomer. She's not new to the school, but she's new to the podcast. She is Vicky. Welcome, Vicky.
Hola. Thank you.
Yeah, Vicky teaches psychology and modern
And
U.S. history.
American democracy this year.
The
Democracy.
studies of the socials.
So, we have 3 different subjects here. Science, English, and the social studies.
And the soft science. We are not the soft sciences, the social sciences.
The marshmallow science. But yeah, we're going to tell you some stories. I don't know how good these will be. We're going to have fun. We're here to have fun. But yeah, Asians and ghost stories, there's a long history. Like I gave Vicky one from 795.
Oh,
Wow.
Like it's like over 1,000 years old.
is it Chinese?
It's Japanese.
Oh, it's Japanese.
Yeah, it's Japanese.
Yeah.
Nihonjin.
Yeah, so these ghost stories go way back, at least 1,000 years back. And, there's something about Asians and ghosts, I think. I think there's a sensitivity to spirits, would you say?
Yeah, but I mean,
Spiritual
most of the
animism.
world is trying to solve what happens to people after they die all the time. So yeah.
I feel like everyone's got a sensitivity, but I feel like, I don't know. I can only talk about my own culture, but I feel like Asian or Chinese ghost stories for me are like hecka creepy.
Yeah,
They're
right?
extra creepy.
Yeah. Something about it. And they name their ghosts. Like Americans, do we have any ghosts besides Casper, do we have any ghosts? Like in other cultures, they name their ghosts. They have movies about their ghosts.
The headless horseman.
You mean
Yeah, maybe.
everybody knows it?
Yeah, like the one you're going to read later, we'll talk about
Oh,
her.
that's a
She's
fact.
kind
But
of a
I was
folk
thinking it's not
tale.
it's not just Asians. Because it kind of reminded me a little bit of La Llorona.
I was just about to say that one.
Okay.
Yes.
the
Yes.
chupacabra stuff. That's all Latin
Okay.
America. So, but I feel
That's
like
true.
there's this whole kind of universal idea that everybody's trying to figure out.
I agree. Because in my psychology class, when we talk about death and dying, or around Halloween, I usually have my students share ghost stories if they have one. I share one with them. It's just mostly scary, not so much ghost. But real life is scarier than ghosts
right.
sometimes, I think, right?
Yeah.
Humans. But it was funny because I remember one year, the students from different cultures, they were all sharing the story. And then we realized these all sound like the same story.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
There's
And
a
it
lot
was
of
La Llorona story.
Yeah.
And they have every kid had a different version of that. And I said, okay, this is starting to sound similar.
Uh-huh. Did you guys grow up with any ghost stories? Like from your family members or anything tell you anything about?
I don't know, spiritual stuff.
Okay.
My mom has a giant room, and my mom's Thai Buddhist, and she has a big room in our house that's all just shrine.
Uh-huh.
And so there's a lot of like, the ancestry, the Buddhist
picture,
ancestry
incense.
stuff. So she, would have on certain days, she would have me come in there and pray to my ancestors and
Put out some food.
Food. I'm like, and, and all my funny white friends would come over and be like, why is all this food out? Why do you have cigarettes sitting there? And why is there? Are you guys gonna eat that? And like, I'm not yet. I'm not allowed to touch it yet.
Yeah.
So. But there was a lot of that. But it was more. Yeah, it's mostly religious. Yeah.
Yeah.
But hold on. Every once in a while, Mom would say if I didn't behave, Grandma or great grandma would come back and tell me,
like they're watching
check on you.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
And so, that.
There are a lot of beliefs growing up, I guess for me, and then some of it was picked up through pop culture, through friends, like Chinese pop culture.
Yeah.
But there was just a lot of beliefs and fear around around ghosts and spirits, and therefore I respect.
Yeah.
I respect what I don't know,
Yeah.
because just in case. But it was always really creepy. And then while Jackie was talking, I was thinking about, well, there's always the worshiping of ancestors and all
Right.
that.
Yeah.
But then there's also all these beliefs, not so much stories, but definitely the
Superstitions.
whole superstitions,
Or traditions.
just beliefs, or I guess you could say depending on who you are, superstition. I
I'm
guess.
definitely superstitious,
like,
and I think it's because of all that. Yeah.
But a lot of it revolves around like the haunting of female ghosts, and the evil around that. And while you were talking, Jackie, and I was thinking about, I was like, that's kind of misogynistic. Now you think about it, but how like you don't want to wrong a woman because when she comes back and haunts you, it is scary with the long, creepy hair. Like what is it, The Ring or what? That movie. None of those movies I want to watch because they're so scary. But the long, creepy hair. Like if they're wearing a pair of red underwear when they die, that means they're out to curse you.
Oh, no.
Whoa.
Yes,
That's
I'm
really
telling
funny.
you.
Really?
Like red underwear is like
Red underwear.
It's like cursed underwear.
Don't wear red underwear, kids.
It's like they're out to get you in the next life.
No,
And
you
so-
want to wear the red underwear, right? If you want to be the tormentor, you got to wear the red underwear.
Yeah, that's right.
If you want to.
And so,
yeah.
therefore, TMI, I stay away from red underwear.
Oh, because you don't want to be wandering
There's
the
just a
earth.
creepy factor to
Right,
it.
and that's a little superstitious.
I have a very
So there
creepy
you go.
association with like just straight up like a true red kind of underwear. I'm like, oh no, because it's considered evil actually,
Yeah.
and wicked. Yeah.
Okay. Like I'm not a true believer, but I'm not a non-believer. I'm open to the idea of ghosts.
I respect.
I respect them. I don't know. Once in a while you think about relatives who's passed away. I don't talk. I don't have conversations with them, but I'll say like, I think it'd be nice if they're floating around. It'd be kind of nice if they were looking looking after me a little bit, hopefully in a good way.
I'm always worried about they'll see me doing something I shouldn't be doing.
My dad always had the belief that, or grown up, passed down through his family, that whenever he has a dream about like passed away ancestors, like dad or mom, if he dreams about his dad or mom, he sets up an altar the next day and he worships them
because visitation.
They're coming to him in his dream.
Because he believes that they're trying to send him a message about something, and he interprets it and all that, and I always find that fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I respect that.
yeah.
How about Halloween? You guys big Halloween people?
Well,
Yes.
when you asked me to do this, remember I told you, I was like, I'm not, I don't like anything scary. I'm actually, you sent me the story that I'll possibly read today last night, and I'm like, no, I can't read it before I go to bed. I can't even watch scary commercials. Like, I am a total wimp. So, but I've always celebrated Halloween, especially when I was a kid, but I've never, ever been in a costume of anything scary.
Yeah.
Everything that I've been has been kind of cute and funny, or but I've never even like a witch or something. I've never done anything like that because I get scared really easily,
You're
and that's just not
Halloween-y.
me. Yeah, but no, I've always celebrated it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. How about you? You like the holiday?
I enjoy Halloween. I think it's a lot of fun, but same as Jackie, I'm not a horror, scary movie person. I'd leave the room. Like, I wouldn't go out. That's not my thing. It just scares me, creeps me out.
You're more into the little kids wearing costumes and candy.
Yeah.
No, I'm not into the little kids.
Oh, okay.
No, it's more, I think I like the costume aspect of it. I think it's
cute.
fun. I have done scary costumes, but mostly I think it's a creativity part that I find fun. And for me, I just feel like, women need a little more humor in their costumes. Oh, am I going to get in trouble for saying this? You mean
as opposed to slutty?
Yes, as opposed to just sexual costumes.
I got you.
That's what I mean. Yeah, I mean,
right.
I'm like, we could be humorous and creative.
Don't worry, my audience is classy. You're not going to get into
without being all sex. I mean, there's nothing wrong with
yeah.
sex, but we don't have to be all sex.
Yeah,
don't
worry about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
like
Hey, you
to
want to
be
guess which Asian country is kind of the most into Halloween?
Japan.
Thailand.
Korea.
Oh, South. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on. We got to narrow it down.
I think it's Japan or South Korea.
I think it's Thailand or South Korea.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think South Korea. There's that tragic thing last year. Itaewon is kind of an international zone where a lot of foreigners hang out, and so there was that huge tragedy last year. But actually, because it's kind of a Catholic, Halloween actually started in Catholicism kind of thing. The All Saints Day, Hallows Eve is the eve before All Saints Day. Okay. So Philippines.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Philippines is like a
that.
3-day thing. It's I don't know how
They do like to party.
They do like the family gatherings. Yeah.
Okay, now that you say that, yesterday.
That makes a lot of sense.
For the first time, one of my students, who happens to be Filipino, she came up and asked me something about what's your Halloween meal? And I was like,
oh, really?
What? And then
you mean Snickers
you're
bars?
like,
I was like, what do you mean?
Candy corn?
I was like, there's no special meal for Halloween. It's just whatever.
corn
right?
over-
But then now that you mentioned that,
Yeah.
I wonder if that's why she asked
that's
me
probably
that.
what she meant. Yeah.
It was my ignorance. I didn't understand her
Yeah,
question.
so
I
it's
Bet
like
they do karaoke at these things.
Yeah, I'm sure there's
love their
there's
karaoke.
obviously food,
feel
but
like
yeah,
That
it
sounds like
is.
fun.
There's special foods. I don't have the list of them, but there's delicacies. It's a 3-day thing where they do Hallows Eve, and then they do All Saints Day is November 1st, and All Souls Day November 2nd.
Okay.
And so they dedicate food to buried kin. They gather as families. It's kind of one of the bigger families.
It's kind of Hispanic too.
Yeah, I think any Catholic
Yes.
country probably
Right.
does it. But so in Asia, that would be the Philippines. But yeah, other countries that have larger Western influences like Japan and Hong Kong and South Korea, they do it now, but more for fun. There's not really religious at all. You okay over there?
I'm spilling coffee.
Okay,
Sorry.
she's got a drinking problem.
Sorry, kids. Sorry.
All right, so let's talk about some ghost legends. Are you ready? Okay, yeah. So we got the lights on. Don't worry, it's 3 in the afternoon. We got the lights on.
handle
Do you guys
this.
remember that movie? What was that movie? The one in the woods and there. Crap. This is
Into
bad.
the woods.
No, it was a movie where they go out. It was like 3 people go out into the woods and they like.
Blair Witch
the Blair
Project?
Witch
Blair Witch
Yeah,
Project.
yeah.
Okay. I don't watch scary movies very often, but I was really intrigued by that movie, and I was like, I gotta watch it. So, and I knew I couldn't see it in the theater because I'd go crazy. So I rented it. This is back, when you can rent DVDs and video. I think I got it on video. And I sat and made sure that all my windows were open, and it was the middle of the day.
That someone could
before I
see you if
sit
you
and
got
watch-
murdered
yeah.
in your
my-
house.
I don't know. Anyway, but that movie scared the bejesus out of me.
Thanks for editing yourself, censoring yourself.
Bejesus?
I started to hear another word. I was going to hit the button.
Ooh, I want one of those buttons.
Did you jump
No,
that?
I can add it later. But all right, so you ready? So have you ever heard? Now, Vicky, your classroom's on the 3rd floor.
That's right.
Oh.
Have you ever heard of Hanako San?
No, but I've heard of possibly a ghost in our book room in social studies.
Oh, okay.
Are
yeah.
we talking about the same person?
I don't know if we
Ghost?
are, but in Japan, there's this ghost called Hanako, or Hanako-chan, Hanako-san, and she apparently, as the legend goes, died during a bombing in World War II, while she was hiding in the bathroom, I think.
Oh.
So she was hiding in the bathroom. Bombs started falling. She got killed, and so she was kind of just doomed to spend the rest of her life in the bathroom, her afterlife.
Sounds like Harry Potter.
And so it's kind of like a Bloody Mary thing, if you ever done that. Mm-hmm. So if you go to the third floor restroom in Japanese elementary schools, and you knock on the stall door. Now, you got to remember, too, in Asia, they have these things called squat toilets. You guys know what squat is?
Yeah.
Yes.
So if you knock 3 times and you say, Hanako San, are you here? And sometimes there's nothing, but sometimes she'll be like, yes, I am. And if you don't pay attention, she may grab you. Because, like, in our toilets, I don't know if she could do this, but in a squat toilet, can you imagine a hand coming out?
Oh, no, that's just what you need. More fear at a squat toilet.
Yeah. It reaches out, grabs your ankle, and pulls you through the pipes as your bones crunch.
That's a good one.
That's a good one. So we got to go to your third floor girls' restroom.
Hold on.
Maybe
Okay,
they'll
hold
stop
on, though.
fooling around in the
Maybe
bathroom if we told
yeah.
them the Hanako San story.
No more vaping, girls. You got it.
That's right. Someone might snatch you.
You might get grabbed.
Right?
In Japan, is it like in Europe where the third floor is actually what we would call the fourth floor?
Maybe.
What?
Because 4 is a bad luck number, right? 'Cause it sounds like death.
But is it the same in Japan?
I don't know.
So go to the 5th. Just to be safe, go to the 2nd or the 5th floor. Because I'm not sure which floor is.
Is that why our principal keeps closing off the bathrooms on the third floor?
It's because of Hanako-san.
Oh, okay.
He's worried about the kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He doesn't want them to get snatched.
Snatched through the
By
toilets.
Or out of their rear end. Yes. Okay.
Let me go down the list.
You know, I actually heard a version of that maybe a year or 2 ago. One of my students who's really quiet, you know, the whole scary story thing I have them do during Halloween. One of them, she's normally really quiet, but geez, she was really good at storytelling.
I love
she
that.
went up there and she told,
they
it
have
was
that
about
talent.
something like that, like being in the stalls and then getting taken and, you know, answering back. And I remember she didn't say anything about Hanako-san, but it was just
I wonder if
general.
Yeah.
I don't know if she edited it or she found another version, but she told a good story though, and it was about the bathrooms. And that's why I don't like hearing these stories, because I'll never go to a public restroom by myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I live by myself too, so
Uh-oh.
this will be okay.
All right.
I'll bring my cat in with me.
There's a bunch in Southeast Asia. I think Southeast Asia.
Yes.
I'm looking at.
Wait,
Jackie.
there's a lot of like
Oh, you can
funny
look at
mythology.
me too. My family's from Vietnam.
Oh what?
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, so I see one here. You want a Malaysian ghost story, or do you want a Vietnamese?
Vietnamese.
Let's
Oh
do
no,
Vietnamese.
sorry, Myanmar.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
So no.
Either one, you choose Malaysian or
Myanmar?
Burmese. Yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
do Burmese.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I'm intrigued.
Let me.
I feel like a lot of the Southeast Asian stories are really creepy. There's a lot of. I feel like there's a lot of belief in black magic and whatnot in those cultures. I grew up hearing a lot of some of those stories. And so, yes, I would love to hear one of those.
All right. Let me see if I can do this. I did not prepare this. So get ready to edit. Talking to my future self. Get ready to edit. Okay. Do you know what a Nat is? N-A-T in Burmese.
No.
It is a revered spirit that affects everyday lives.
Okay.
So the people in Burma or Myanmar, they know about these and they kind of take care of them or look after them. There are 37 great nuts. These are human beings who have died violent deaths, as well as a plethora of natural spirits with various roles and responsibilities. So they're like doing stuff. They're part of society.
Even though they died a violent death.
Yeah, I guess.
Okay.
All right, let me get there. So there's a house nut or a house ghost that the Burmese pay homage to, a village nut that will protect the population from wild animals, and Mah Phae Wah, the nut of cemeteries and graveyards. They say that this guardian, she's a guardian. Is it a girl? Let me think. Does this look male or female to you?
Ooh.
Maybe we should
it
say
looks
they.
androgynous.
Yeah, maybe we should say
It looks
they.
like it's a
I was gonna
non-binary.
say, like
It looks like a
non-binary.
non-binary spirit.
Yeah.
Maybe a they. Okay. So this nut is a guardian of the graveyard. Oh, it says she. She's made her home in these desolate, lonely places, and as with all nuts, she takes human form of a shapely, not all nuts, but this one she takes human form. In this case, she is a shapely woman with long flowing hair, black hair. She awakes from their slumber at midnight, props a coffin on her shoulder, and heads into the local village or town. And she's kind of like a grim reaper. Like she's the harbinger. You don't want this one showing up at your door. So Mah Phae Wah, if she knocks on your door, I think
it's time to go.
Turn out the lights.
And she brings the
death
the
with her.
coffin with her.
Yeah, she's ready to load you in. She's prepared. So what she does is she places her coffin upon the threshold of her assigned victim. Predictably, someone in the household, it doesn't say who, it's like one of the people in the household,
I'm gonna have to guess.
will fall ill and die. So you know someone's getting to get it.
It's going to be Rochambeau.
Yeah, so often it's the youngest, the infant.
Oh, what?
Really? What'd they ever do? I mean,
Why is it the youngest? That's
I don't
interesting.
know.
Okay.
So anyway, so it's just kind of a harbinger of bad things.
I don't know about other Asian cultures, but in a lot of Southeast Asian cultures, they have this whole thing about naming. Like in Thailand, I think you're supposed to nickname the infants like really bad names, so that the spirits don't want to come and take the
like
pretty.
reverse psychology.
So like mine was white butt. No, I was fat butt. My sister's was white butt. My nephew is, I can't cuss, but it was the cussing version of dog poo.
Yeah.
Until we were, probably like 4 or 5. My mom definitely called us all these names. So I'm wondering
kind of
if
anti-jinx.
Yes.
Yeah.
Actually, I know the Chinese have this too. I mean, that's why Bruce Lee, if you look at Bruce Lee's actual name was a girl's name, because they believed that if you name your firstborn son a girl's name, the spirits won't come and
Right, yeah.
I mean, the girls are
That's
useless.
too ugly.
So
and
they're
I
not
don't
going to
want
come
a
take
girl
a girl
yeah.
baby, but they'll come take the boy baby. So you give boys girls' names. And also, I don't know if this is like a Southeast Asian thing or a Chinese thing, or a Southeast Asian Chinese thing, but like my cousins growing up, they're a lot older than me, and they're a lot more connected to Vietnam than I was. And so they all grew up calling their parents uncle and aunt because
to kind of deceive the ghost or
Yeah,
whatever.
I mean,
and
that's
also
the idea,
to create that, like basically it's like if you don't make it past your first year of life or whatever, your early years of life, then it's almost like to throw off the ghost so that they won't come for you. So my cousins, they all call their parents uncle and aunt still. For a long time.
They still do?
I was very confused by
Interesting.
that. Yes.
Interesting. And their first name or just the title of auntie or
Just the title of auntie and uncle. Yeah.
It's funny too because
Yeah.
my niece is about to have her second baby, and I'm just so curious what my mom's gonna name this kid.
the nickname.
Yeah, the nickname, some sort of.
So-
because she's come up with the funniest stuff. It's
So
just,
if your nickname was like lovely and polite,
No,
you're goners.
we don't do that.
Yeah, you'd be goners.
no,
yeah.
you don't do that.
You'd be the first
It'd
one.
be
to-
It
like
has to be
ugly and
nasty
rude.
and gross,
Oh,
whatever
yeah.
it is. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got to come up with nicknames for my kids. You got a nickname for your kid?
Oh yes.
Is it-
So many.
Well, I won't say it on the air. All right. So actually, let's get you guys talking a little bit. We have a couple, and when I say prepared, we have some ghost stories prepared, and I'm
Ish.
using air quotes.
Yes, air quotes, please.
When I say prepared, we have lightly skimmed the first page.
Do personal anecdotes?
Yeah, actually, you
Count
said you
too?
had a personal story. Actually, why don't we start with that
I
one?
have like several.
Oh,
Okay, but I don't want to take up all the airspace.
Are they
but-
like real?
these are
yeah.
Are they?
Okay.
okay.
I'm getting
Well,
scared.
like, okay, so I went to college at UC Santa Cruz, and my roommates and I, there were 2 other girls and me. We ended up finding this one place. It had dirt cheap rent because it was fully furnished, and it was near the beach boardwalk, and it was in this old Victorian up on the hill. So it was in a really nice neighborhood, up above the boardwalk, and basically, we rented it, and we each had a room. It was like the downstairs unit. Technically, it would be considered an in-law, but it didn't
Right.
It wasn't, you know, it didn't look like a San Francisco in-law.
Okay.
And so anyway, so we rented it, but my roommates lived there over the summer. I didn't move until the fall. So I come back in the fall, take over my lease, and the first night I stay there, I have this really creepy nightmare. So my room was basically was next to the kitchen. So it was furthest back in the house. And so that first night I slept in that house, I had this dream that a little ghost boy came to visit me in my room. And I was like, who are you? And then this ghost boy, and in my dream I knew it was a ghost boy. And so he starts talking to me. He was about maybe 3 or 4. And he says that I used to live in this house. And I said, I was like, you did?
This is your first night?
This is my first night. And I said,
you signed a 3-year lease.
Right. Exactly.
You're so screwed.
And I was like, you did? And I was like, should I ask more? And I said, so what happened to you? And he basically says, I used to live in this house, but my mom was a servant here. Mm-hmm. She lived down here. And I was like, no. And so basically he told me that my mom was raped and killed down here.
Oh my gosh.
And so And so I'm still here. And I went, that's nice. And then so
Thanks, kid.
I can't remember. I can't remember what else happened in the dream, but I woke up. I was terrified. So I told my 2 other roommates about the dream I had.
No.
I said, guys, I had this really creepy dream last night. And then so, we sat around, told them, they're like, you know what? My one roommate who's in the front of the house said, I've actually had some weird experiences. So we started swapping stories about this house. So my roommate said, because there's this huge old, what do they call them, vanities, with the mirror and all that in her room. And there's a giant tree outside of her room. No. She's Catholic. And she was like, there's something up with that tree. I was like, why didn't you guys tell me this over the summer?
Welcome home, Vicky.
Right. And then my other roommate, and I should bring up their ethnic or racial backgrounds because it matters in this case. So that roommate of mine who was in the front of her, she's Catholic. She's white, maybe Italian background. I can't remember anymore. But she said there's something going on in that room. My other roommate, the one who's in the middle, she was Persian. And so she says, I think it's just you guys in your head. Okay, all right. So this goes on for a few months. And I'm like, it's a little creepy here. And our lights flicker and we hear noises at night. Yeah. And basically, and our TV just randomly goes out sometimes. And
of course it does.
Yeah, no, it really did. It really did.
That's on brand,
yeah,
I think.
This is just a little too perfect.
And so we're like... I was like, guys. And so I never wanted to be alone in this house. And so anyways, ultimately, we had 3 rooms in that house. And at the end, we all slept in one room together.
Oh, man.
We all slept in one room. We all threw our mattresses together on the floor. And
holding hands.
Yeah.
Taking turns being awake.
And then ultimately, what happened was we did a seance, okay?
Oh, wow.
We basically, we brought in all the religions. So,
wow.
So we told a friend. So one of our friends who did not live at the house came by too. So she's Muslim. So she brought in her thing. I forgot. She brought in some scripture or something. My roommate who lived in the front, who's Italian background, she's Catholic.
She brought her Bible.
She brought
big cross.
And the Catholic rosary. I guess you could say I'm Buddhist background. So I brought in all the different Buddhas.
Amulets,
yes, and then my roommate who was in the middle room, the room that we all slept in. She's Persian. She's Baha'i, and so basically. She brought in her thing. I can't remember what it was.
You got to check the boxes. You got to get them all.
We got all of it. We got all the world, the UN of world religions. And so we were doing it, burning sage.
And it worked. You're still here.
I'm still here. But I was sick every single day I stayed there. Oh, wow. And I ended up breaking my lease. I was like, all right, guys, I'm out. This is creeping me out.
Wow.
And so
when you say you were sick, what do you think that was?
It could be the fact that I didn't get very much sleep the whole time.
Yeah.
Right.
But I was creeped out. Like every night, I would recite Buddhist mantras while I was going to sleep to hopefully put myself to sleep. I was so creeped out. I was terrified.
Yeah, I don't
No,
like
I would
that.
break that at least
I
day
don't
2.
like that.
I think I'd be like,
yeah, I broke
guys,
it.
it's been fun.
I know.
Yeah.
See ya.
I
Yeah.
broke that lease. Sorry,
I'm
sorry,
super
ladies.
Sleep at the
for
bus
that.
stop or something. Just go to the library.
Yeah. So
Oh,
that's what
wow.
happened.
Okay, yeah, good one.
Oh, and then we asked the landlord one day. We said, "Hey,
Did
anything ever happen
you're
here?"
raping murderers?
And yeah,
Like rape and murder.
exactly.
Oh, he's like, oh yeah. well,
Actually, no.
Couple times.
This is what the landlord said. The landlord said, "Really, any hauntings?" You know, we even asked them that, and it was an older couple upstairs, and we're like, "What time do you guys go to bed at night?" Because we keep hearing like footsteps up above, and so basically. I said, "Oh no, this house isn't haunted, but the house across the street though, that one's haunted."
Hella haunted.
Exactly, and that was their answer. We're like, "Okay, this house is hella haunted." That's what we thought.
Or what if you heard all that creaking and footsteps and they go, oh, we don't even live upstairs. We
Oh,
haven't-
it'd be
we-
like, no, that,
we haven't been there.
They're like, "No
I'd
one's
be
been
packing my
here.
bags."
No one's been here alive for years."
Oh my gosh. Yeah, no. I think you needed to leave.
I left.
Goodbye,
No one's
security
been-
deposit.
Yeah,
you can
I
always get
left.
another
Yeah,
security
I
deposit.
got out of there.
Yeah. Oh no.
I mean, if we're talking like superstitious stuff, I only have one story, I guess. Personally, but it was in the theater.
Ooh.
I don't know if, I mean, we're not in a theater right now, so I can say, like, I don't know. If people know anything about theater people, they're very superstitious.
Yeah, break the leg.
And one of them is to never say Macbeth while you're in a theater on stage. So, yeah, because they believe, like, it's this old superstition that it's a cursed play. So this is when I was in college, and it's funny, I'm still friends with this guy, but we were on a production of, I think it was called The Balcony. It's a Jean Genet play, old classic play. And you know, this guy's name, Pete, if you're out there, I love you. Pete decided at rehearsal, he decided to stand, they were like hanging lights or something, or adjusting lights, and he decided to stand under a ladder and on stage and say Macbeth 3 times. And we were all like, shut up.
Dude, yeah.
Shut up,
Yeah.
shut
You're
up,
not
shut up,
being
shut up.
funny, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So his part in the play, he played like a farcical general. And he was all dressed up in his and he had to be rolled on a like a rolling balcony. And so it was on a platform, and everything's supposed to be secured. And honestly, like, this is at San Francisco State. They're really good about checking for safety constantly. I was in a lot of productions there, so. But in one of his scenes, he had to be rolled out on the balcony, rolled out. Something failed during the middle of one of the performances, and it like crashed. And he ended up with a broken arm, and he had to perform the rest of the play with a broken arm.
Literally broken
and we're all
arm.
just like, it's your freaking fault,
And
dude.
did
is
it
he a
to
believer?
yourself.
Oh, he is now.
Oh, he better be.
We're all just like, you're a dummy. And everybody was like freaking out because,
Yeah.
quite frankly, well, yeah. I mean, a lot of people don't subscribe to
Sure.
superstitious stuff, but definitely like theater
Yeah.
people take it very seriously. It's like, you know, athletes or whatever with
Like,
their
I'm not
dirty
superstitious,
socks. It's like,
but I wouldn't push it, you know?
oh, I know.
Like,
I'm a
like-
little
No, I'm not
superstitious.
pushing it either.
yeah, I wouldn't poke the bear, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I don't need the bear to come out.
Yeah.
No one needs the bear.
I have one more story, but whenever you're ready for it.
Okay, let's see. Should we go to not my,
Oh, my story?
Yeah.
Yes.
This Thai legend?
yeah. So,
Yeah, Mae Nak.
Mae Nak.
Now, okay, whoever Thai people, don't come at me for pronunciation, please.
we're trying our
because
best,
I'm just, you know, I grew up hearing the language, but you know, I didn't speak it very well. But anyway, this is a. Shall I just read it?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is-
embellish at will, though.
Embellish. I don't know if I can do that, but I'll try. Anyway, so it's Mae Nak. No, I'm saying it wrong. My tones are off, but anyway, Ma. Anyway, it means mother. I'll just read it to you. Many years ago, a beautiful woman named Mae Nak lived on the banks of the Kranong Canal in Siam, which is now Thailand, with her husband Mak. Mak. While urbanized now, Phra Karang is a small village back then, and the couple hoped to raise a family and live a simple, peaceful life together. Soon, Nak fell pregnant with Mak's child. Unfortunately, Siam had just gone to war with the people of the Shan tribe. Mass conscription soon followed, and Mak found himself at the front lines. Mm-hmm. At the front, Mak suffered a terrible wound and had to be slowly nursed back to health in Bangkok. But while Mak had escaped death, tragedy struck back home as both Nak and her child died during childbirth. Mm-hmm. When Mak eventually returned home, by the way, he didn't know that she had died. So he returned home and he found his village in ruins, and almost all the houses were abandoned or destroyed. But as if by some miracle, he discovered his home standing upright and untouched. And inside he found Nak and his infant son unharmed and waiting for him. Mm-hmm. The couple and their child lived together seemingly at peace for some time, with Mak completely unaware he was living with ghosts. He was also unaware of the terrible deeds Nak was committing to keep him in the dark. Old friends and neighbors tried to reach Mak and tell him the truth about his wife and child, but each time someone got close to telling him, they would meet a terrible fate at Nak's hands.
Coincidence?
Dun, dun, dun. It would not be until one fateful day that Mak would finally see the horrible truth. While Nak was preparing food, she dropped a lime on the floor. Then briefly, forgetting to keep up her facade, she would make her arm longer to reach the fruit. Seeing this, Mak then knew his wife was now a ghost. Mak would flee, taking refuge inside a temple. Unable to enter the sacred space, Mae Nak took her fury out on the local populace until one monk imprisoned her spirit inside an earthen pot. Now, a couple different versions of this say that he actually took a piece of her skull, her spiritual skull, and shoved her whole spirit into it, and then into the pot, or he wore it in the waistband anyway. So
like a
he
Ghostbuster.
he took control of her spirit, and the monk then threw it in the river. And for a while, it seemed the hauntings were over.
I read that there's a lot of movies. Like, this is a popular tale.
And like the listing of the films are extensive.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I mean, now I want to go, I kind of want to watch them, but I'm kind of scared to.
I kind of feel like I would know. If I came home and Viv and my child were dead.
But you don't know it.
Would you,
At
though?
first, this guy didn't know it.
This guy didn't know.
I don't know. Maybe he's just not that sensitive. Maybe
Living in like,
like oblivious.
he's a
ignorant
little
bliss.
oblivious. Woman, get me another beer. And then, a beer appears.
As she stretches her arm out towards you.
But he doesn't even look up.
Doesn't
He's
even
just like
look up.
reading the paper.
I mean, yeah, maybe.
No.
I mean, that's kind of on him. If he's living with them for a couple months. And
I'm going to ask my mom about this. I'm so curious about it.
it says that all Thai people know.
I guess. I'm not Thai enough.
This is such a classic like toxic relationship though, right? Because
Yeah.
she isolates him from all the people who want to help him, so he doesn't know what the truth is. Oh my gosh, she's gaslighting him.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
this is.
I don't know what happened to the spirit baby, though.
Spirit baby is just chilling.
He's just hanging out.
Baby's innocent.
Perfect baby, never cries.
That's right.
Never needs diaper changes.
Ooh, again.
Oh,
It's
that'd
like,
be
hey,
perfect.
How come we don't have to spend any money on diapers? I don't know.
Red flag.
Yeah, that's a red flag. Yeah.
That's a red flag.
If your wife reaches through the floor to grab a lime, that's a red flag.
Yeah.
If your baby never cries, red flag.
Another red
This is
flag.
why another reason not. And apparently, in some of it, she was preparing namprik, which is, I think, literally translated just means pepper water. But it's it's just like pepper sauce. Everybody has their own pepper sauce, but like it's at least in our family, it's a special skill to
Every family
make
has their
it.
own
Everybody
recipe.
has their own, and so it's like everybody makes their own little type of namprik.
All right, Mae Nak. So I assigned Vicky some reading. You want to try it?
You did.
This
Am I
was
just
what's
reading it?
cool about it is that it was from a book that's it's written between 700 and 1000 AD.
That's awesome.
I like how old it is.
That's really cool. And
Yeah.
so you'll see take a look. Okay, let's
right.
take a listen to this. Go ahead and just read it.
Is it all right if I just read it?
Sure.
Okay,
sure.
great.
No,
I'll put on my
no. You
good
need to
reading
memorize
voice.
it.
Don't make me
I
paraphrase.
had lines. I didn't know.
All right. So this is how Kino Tosuke of Mino province met female spirits and died. All right. So long ago, there was a man named Fujiwara no Takanori, a former official of Nagato. When he was serving as temporary governor of Shimosa province, he was assigned by the Kanpaku. And attached to that estate was a man named Kino Tosuke.
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 Maybe.
Thank you.
Maybe.
All right. I took Japanese in high school. I should be better than this. But anyways, all right. Among the various people on the estate, Takanori took particular notice of this Kino Tosuke.
Tosuke. Yeah.
So Tosuke was summoned to the capital for extended service in the Higashi no Sanjo Palace. He had been dismissed and was on his way home to Mino and was crossing the Seta Bridge. As he was doing so, he noted a woman standing and holding up the hem of her robe. Beware of the ladies.
With the hem of the robe.
Right?
Run. Showing the ankle.
Passing by on his horse, he thought this a little peculiar. "Where are you going, may I ask?" said the woman. "I'm going to Mino," replied Tosuke, dismounting from his horse. "I have a favor to ask," she said. "I wonder if you would oblige me." "I would be delighted," he replied. "Ah, how happy you make me," she exclaimed. Then pulling a small box from the breast of her robe and unwrapping the piece of silk around it, she said, "If you could take this to the village of Morokoshi in the district of Kataagata, that would be great. At the west end of the bridge, there will be a woman waiting. Please give this to her." Tosuke thought this rather strange, but he replied, "I'll be happy to comply," noting the woman's appearance as though she were fearful that he would refuse. He found it difficult to deny her request. Mind games, right? Accepting the box, he said, "This woman waiting by the bridge, who is she? Where does she live? If she's not there, how will I find her? And who should I say sent the box?" The woman replied, "Just go to the foot of the bridge. She will be waiting to receive it. There's no mistake. She will be there. But for heaven's sake, do not ever try to open the box." As she said this,
sounds familiar.
Tosuke had that feeling that the others in his party did not see him standing there and talking to her. They only saw that he had gotten off his horse and was standing there, and they wondered what he was doing. After Tosuke had accepted the box, the woman went on her way. Tosuke, having remounted his horse, journeyed on to Mino. But when he reached the approach to the bridge at Morokoshi, he forgot all about what he was supposed to do there and failed to deliver
He had
the
one
box.
job.
Exactly. Failed.
Right?
Come on, buddy.
That's why she tasked him, because he's going to fail. Only when he reached home did he remember, well, I'll have to look for the woman another time and hand it over then.
Oh my God.
He thought to himself as he put it away and what he thought was a safe place. Tosuke's wife was of a very jealous nature, and she happened to come across the box by accident. "He must have bought it and brought it from Kyoto, intending to give it to some woman," she thought. and he's hidden it from me here. When Tosuke had gone out, his wife got out the box and opened it. In it,
why, lady?
she found several human eyes that had been gouged out and a number of penises.
What?
With a little, with a little of the hair attached.
The detail.
Yes. This is
1,000-year-old story. This is spicy.
I love it.
This must
okay.
have been really spicy.
when the wife saw these things, she was greatly startled and frightened.
Yeah.
As soon as Tosuke returned, with much misgiving, she called him to look at them.
Oh, no.
She warned me not to open the box, he exclaimed. Now you've done it. Quickly, he wrapped the things up again the way they had been, and, as the woman had told him, took the box to the foot of the bridge. There was a woman waiting there, and as he had been told there would be, when Tosuke gave her the box, she said, "This box has been opened, hasn't it?" "Oh Oh no, nothing of the sort,
Right.
protested
She
Tosuke.
She ain't no
She
stupid.
knows.
But the woman, looking extremely displeased, said, "You've done a terrible thing." Then, with an air of profound regret, she took the box and Tosuke went home. After that, Tosuke, complaining that he did not feel well, took to his bed.
Yeah.
She said not to look, but you had to open it, he said to his wife, and shortly after, he died. Thus, we see that when a wife has profound feelings of jealousy and acts on the basis of imaginings, she brings bad luck on the
Come on.
husband. Because
It
of
always
jealousy,
comes back.
Tosuke died an unexpected and miserable death.
Okay.
Although they say that jealousy is part of a woman's constant nature, still all who heard of this incident blame the wife. So the story goes.
Oh my God! So it's about
The
like
end.
Oh
So it's
my
about
God.
how women suck.
Written by men for men. Oh man.
Oh my gosh!
That must have been really.
That's a great story.
Must have been really spicy in 1,000 years ago. That would have been.
It probably was with the penises and the eyeballs. For
that would
sure.
that would put a little shock into the guys. Like, hey, maybe you shouldn't stop on the bridge.
to talk to women.
And wives, maybe you shouldn't open boxes that you shouldn't be opening.
You shouldn't open suspicious-looking gift boxes that don't belong to you.
Wrapped in silk, smelling of rotten penises.
Exactly.
What does rotten penis smell like?
I wouldn't know,
I
but I can imagine.
I would
It
think
doesn't
it'd be
smell
like old yogurt.
maybe.
Oh God!
All right.
Old yogurt. Oh my God!
All right, I got one, and then we'll go back to Vicky's real one.
Okay.
So this is okay. I am stealing this from another podcast.
Oh, okay.
Our friend
At least you
Teddy
give credit.
from Briefcase Podcast in Singapore. Her friend Michelle heard it on another podcast. So we're getting this
It's
story.
being passed on.
And that means it's
So,
really good now.
You're getting
Yeah.
this story fourth or fifth hand. So
That's right.
It's reaching the world.
Probably true, but we have no way of knowing. So it is
Like all good stories.
all good stories. Could be true. Could also be
Yeah,
totally made
yeah.
up. We don't know. Okay, so there's this woman, Jane. I'm guessing her name was probably like Jia Yi, but she goes by Jane because it's
Okay.
Taiwan. She works at a company. Yeah, we wouldn't know because we are public servants, but she works at a company where you gotta impress your clients. You gotta make money for them,
Yeah.
and then they have a lot of demands. The bigger the contract, the more the demand. So she got this contract that was really big and a client that was very, very needy. So she's got to spend a lot of overtime. So the work-life balance in Taiwan, probably not great. So she's there. She's working late. She's 20-something. She's new, so she's got to impress her bosses. So she's working till like 10 o'clock at night. All right, Jane's friend, I'm going to give her the name Chu Wei, but we'll call her Chewy.
I like Chewy.
Okay,
Chewy.
so
Yes.
Jane's friend Chewy says, you know what, it's 10 o'clock. This is ridiculous. I'm going home. I'll see you tomorrow. So Jane said, I got to stay a little longer. But I'll walk you down, maybe give you some fresh air, and then grab something from the vending machine on the way back up. So they get down there, and the security guard, is sitting at the front, usually says goodbye to everybody, right? It's 10 o'clock at night, so it's pretty late. So says bye to Chewy, but then looks at Jane, and kind of looks like he wants to say something, but he doesn't. Mm-hmm. So he's kind of like, but he doesn't, right? And so she walks back upstairs. So it's around 12:30 at night now, and she's like, okay, I gotta go home. But it's like a 40-minute train ride home, subway ride home, so she's got to use the bathroom first, of course, right? Mm-hmm. So she goes to the bathroom,
Those bathrooms, man.
and while she's in the bathroom, she's in the stall, not stall number 3, but she's in the stall, and she hears the the squeaky
Yes.
door sound.
Yes.
And she's like, is someone there? And it's super late. There's no one there, right? So she's like, is someone still here? So is someone there? No answer, but she hears the door close,
Oh,
right?
hell no.
So she's like, okay, never mind. I'm getting out of here. So she goes to starts washing her hands. Lights turn off.
No.
No.
So she's in the bathroom all
Okay, no,
alone
I'm
at
afraid
night.
to go to the
12 there.
bathroom.
Yeah, never go to the bathroom, but it's 40-minute bus ride. So anyway, so she runs to her desk, gets her stuff, runs out, and as she's leaving, she kind of just kind of nods at the security guard, and he's kind of like, okay, we'll see you later, all right? And he looks kind of upset. All right, he looks kind of upset. All right, so she runs out. The next day, they're at work, and she's like, okay, you know what? I got to leave a little earlier, so I'm going to try to leave by 8. But guess what? Work calls, so it's just like 9 o'clock now. It's a little bit later. Has to go pee again for the long train ride home. This time, same thing, right? She's in the bathroom, does her business, washes her hand. As she's done washing her hands, lights flicker.
Oh my God.
So she's in the dark again. So she's like, okay, I'm out of here. So she runs out. She goes down to the lobby again, and the security guard kind of looks at her kind of puzzled, like, why are you so frantic? And she says something like, oh, I'm just tired. I need to go. I need more rest. And so anyway, so she runs out. Happens to be a Friday.
Okay.
But all weekend, she has these pounding headaches and can't sleep, especially like late at night, 4 a.m. She's having these headaches and just can't sleep. So
Is it at 4:44 a.m.?
Probably.
Yes.
Probably in 44 seconds, too. So she shows up to work on Monday, super wrecked, right? Like, even with makeup on, you can see the dark circles, and everyone's like, what's wrong with you? You go a little hard over the weekend or what? She's like, no. And she kind of says, and I just had trouble sleeping. I'm having nightmares and headaches and stuff like that. And so she kind of asked her friend, Chewy, can you stay with me? I have to do overtime one more night, but can you stay with me? And, Chewy's a good friend, so she says, sure, I will. So they're there till around 9. And guess what? Jane needs to hold off on the water.
She does.
She
needs to pick a different bathroom.
She needs to pick a different bathroom and cut back on
Or she needs like a buddy to go with her to the bathroom.
Well, no, that's what she took Chewy this time.
Oh, okay.
So she took Chewy and she goes, hey, you know what? I know this is weird, but can you just stand at the door and talk to me while I'm going pee, right?
Okay.
Sounds good. So they're talking, they're just chit-chatting, and then all of a sudden, this is Chewy's perspective, Jane's voice kind of fades out.
What?
And she's kind of like, okay, I guess you don't want to talk anymore. That's fine. Whatever. And then so Jane comes out of the stall looking upset, like, dude, you had one job. I just wanted you to talk to me while I was going pee. And Chewy's like, what are you talking about? You stop talking. What? And Jane says, no, I thought you were pranking me because your voice faded out, and then all I could hear was a guy's voice while she was trying to talk to Chewy.
Wait. Who heard the guy's voice?
Jane. So Jane was in the bathroom talking to Chewy, and then
Uh-huh.
Chewy's voice kind of faded out,
Uh-huh.
and all Jane could hear was a guy's voice.
Okay.
But she
all right.
couldn't understand any words he was saying.
Okay.
So she's like, you weren't pranking me? That wasn't you being funny? And she was like, no, I would never do something like that. So they both got a little freaked out, and they run out. They run out, and they're running downstairs. And kind of before she could even say goodbye to the security guard, Jane just runs out. That leaves Chewy and the security guard. And the security guard goes, hey, come here for a second. I got to tell you something. He goes, you need to tell your friend to stop staying late. Because I have kind of the third eye. What? So I can see ghosts. And every time she stays late, there's a ghost that hangs out right with her whenever she's here late. So just make sure she gets home earlier. And she was like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll tell her. So,
Oh my God.
so Jane's kind of a good friend, so she doesn't want to totally freak her out. So she just says, you know what, Jane, you gotta go home earlier. Just promise me you won't stay late. And Jane says, okay, I will. And this works for like 2 months. She stays, till 7 o'clock, goes home. Mm-hmm. Until she gets a client that's even more needy than this last client.
Oh my God.
And so she's like, you know what? I just got to do the overtime. I got to do the work. So she's there late at night. And you know how, so she's working at like 10 o'clock at night. And you know how when you turn off your laptop, the screen goes black and it kind of basically turns into a mirror?
Oh no!
So she turns off. So it's 10 o'clock at night. She turns off her laptop and she looks in the laptop screen, and behind her she can see the figure of a man. And so she just runs out of there again, and she runs past the security guard, and then she doesn't know what to do. Like, she's super freaked out. So she finally tells Chewy, and Chewy tells her, oh yeah, actually the security guard said there's actually a ghost that's been following you. And she said, actually the security guard said he does not look very nice. Like, he looks pissed.
Like an angry one.
Yeah, he's pissed.
Okay.
And so, Jane's a Christian, so she doesn't really believe in a lot of spiritual things, but she goes to the temple with Chewie to get like an amulet and stuff like that, and it works. So after that, the ghost kind of left her alone, and the security guard said, yeah, actually, when you would run out, the ghost would follow you out. That's why he had the ability to talk to Chewie about it, because the ghost had left. And the ghost was staring at him some of the time, like, hey, don't snitch on me. And so the security guy was kind of scared, too, to say anything when the ghost was standing there, because he was afraid the ghost would come after him.
I'm not going to sleep tonight.
Yeah, turn the lights on, watch some funny movies.
I'm not going to do
Watch The Office tonight.
Maybe some Simpsons or something. So I don't know, true story or not.
Hold on, where'd you get that story?
Off of a Taiwanese podcast.
Oh, okay.
That one sounds pretty realistic.
That's pretty creepy. And yeah, and it's like a modern idea, too.
Yeah.
So wait, hold up. So what happens? So like, so it just follows her around?
Yeah, he just
whenever she stays late, and that's it?
Stays late, yeah.
Oh, wait, but the amulet.
Yeah, the amulet kind of warded him off.
Protecting her.
So, yeah.
Wow.
So, yeah, I don't know.
Oh, my God.
Taiwan's another spiritual place. A lot of altars and a lot of stuff in Taiwan.
I've heard that,
too. A lot of red underwear in Taiwan.
I'm telling you, it's creepy. It's all creepy.
All right. Let's wrap. Bring us home, Vicky, with your last.
I'm trying to figure out which one I want to tell you.
Oh, you have so many.
The more we talk about, the more I think about it.
This might be an annual event. Should we save some for next year?
Oh,
should we do this every year? I mean, there is October 31st.
The irony is that I'm the big chicken.
You know what?
I am too, but stuff happens.
Stuff happens. All right, you know what? Let's save it.
Okay, save
it. We'll tease it 360
next year.
365 days.
Cliffhanger.
Come back next year.
Because this one really happened to me. Like the Santa Cruz one was like,
it did happen.
Maybe.
But
maybe there was something. It was just a creepy dream. But this one straight up confirmed.
All right, write an email to yourself and send it next year to yourself to remind you of the stories.
You know who you need to invite to this too? Lone.
Oh.
Lone's got some creepy stories.
She does.
Okay.
You need to invite Lone to this too.
All right. As the kids would say, bet.
Yeah.
Bet.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, that's gonna happen. All right. Or 8. You know what 8 means?
No.
8 is the new sleigh, apparently.
What does this mean?
8?
Yeah. So you say sleigh would be like, oh, that's cool. But now you say 8.
Why 8?
Like, as it being
ATE.
cool?
ATE, yeah, it's cool.
Oh, ATE.
ATE.
8. It's like, oh, I ate all the crumbs. I don't know.
8.
I'm gonna have to ask them.
Ask the kids.
I haven't heard anyone say that.
Yeah, I saw it on our
Now
wheel.
that I'm.
I saw these Gen whatevers asking older people, hey, do you know what 8 means?
I'm about to be a dinosaur, if not already.
We are.
Yes.
50 next month. So.
Oh, no.
Just 25, but
Yeah.
feeling like a dinosaur.
27.
No one knows. No one can see this podcast.
Oh, man. All right, yeah.
Let's ask for old people.
Yeah. All right, so thanks for coming on. This was fun. I had a lot of
Thank you.
fun.
This is a lot of fun.
So, everyone out there, if you have your own scary story, send it to us, infatuasianpodcast at gmail.com. No, just send them just to Jackie.
No!
Late at night with sound effects, voice messages.
With 3D images.
Just stop by my house and stand outside my window.
In the rain. With a red balloon.
At 4:44 a.m.
I'm gonna wake up in the middle of the night.
If we're gonna do this again next year, I'll do my homework. I've heard some stuff over the years. I just can't remember it.
Yeah, well, there must be some Galileo stories we gotta find.
Oh, well, I do know about one. In the basement.
The Galileo book room. Hello.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. So save all these for next year.
Okay.
Something to look forward to, guys. So we'll do this next year. But everyone out there, thank you so much for listening.
Thank you.
Give us a rating and review. You know what to do. 5 stars only.
Oh.
Spotify, Apple. Oh, yeah. You know what I'm afraid of is like some of my students get disgruntled. The bad grade or something to drop me down like 1 star.
That's true. Do students listen to this?
Once in a while.
Okay.
Yeah.
Once in a while. Yeah. I've had some students on. I've actually.
Oh, okay.
I've
heard
they might have heard some of my stories already.
Yeah.
If they're my students too.
All right. So everyone out there, thank you for listening. And so on behalf of Vicky, Jackie, and myself, we hope that you're all happy, healthy, and safe out there. Until we talk to you again. Bye, everyone.
Bye. Toodles.
Happy Halloween.